So thank you so much, Queen, for being here. You look beautiful as always.
Thank you. So do you. You look lovely.
Thank
Bright
you.
red lip. I love it.
A little something, you know. So, you are with Unique Women's Coalition. Give us some history and some background, and um, why why did you start Unique Women's Coalition? What was the driving force?
Well, Unique Women's Coalition is basically it's a response to a need that that trans community, particularly Black folks, needed at a particular time. We started Unique Women's Coalition back in 1997, and it literally was because we needed something, we needed organized activity for Black trans folks, particularly during the holiday, which we sort of organize ourselves around Transgiving holiday or Thanksgiving holiday, which we have called Transgiving for the last 20 years. But it was necessary for us to do something for our community. And at that point, it was to create a safe space that we could feed our siblings. It was during a time where there was no services for trans people of any color. And so we thought that was necessary. I called a few friends and said, hey, can you cook something? Can you cook something? Can we get your Ralph's card? Can we get, those sorts of things? And we literally prepared a full Thanksgiving dinner. We packed up some, card tables and chairs. And we set up a makeshift dinner table right on Santa Monica Boulevard in Highland, and this was, at that point, we knew that we were onto something. And because we realized that our community knew that they could take a moment and be celebrated, to be in a safe space, have a meal. And at this time, we did it on Santa Monica Boulevard, where many of our community members were, engaging in survival sex work. And so we just wanted to give them an opportunity to not only celebrate the holiday, but just take a load off, literally. Come sit down, get full. And so that is how our organization started. And so here we are 23 years later. We now have a brick and mortar space. We've gone from producing events to providing service. We offer financial education. We offer essential services. We offer daily snacks, warm meals, a ready-to-wear closet. We have someone on staff specifically for COVID-19, contact tracing, testing, referrals. So we just try to show up however we can, even though funding is limited, and even though we've been around for a few decades, we are still considered grassroots. And so, I went to school to be a journalist, but now I'm a CEO of a trans-led social justice impactful organization. And that is very different from what I went to school for. So we need assistance. We definitely try to show up in a healthy way to elevate our community, to say, hey, Black trans culture and non-binary culture, we can be anything that we want to be. As a almost 50-year-old Black trans woman, I stand before you as someone who was told that I couldn't be anything, who was told that I could not be who I wanted to be. And so every day has been a day of resilience, has been a day of war, but has been a day that I have been able to win. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that. And it's such an honor to be amongst you and in your space, and just seeing the way that the org is, like, you have the board, right? You have and there's so much expansion Nikki, who's my sister, who's your daughter, she's there as well. And just seeing like all of the kings and queens and the royal fam that you're able to employ and you're able to mentor, and the beautiful things that you've put in place, like Melanin Magic and, you know, Transgiving. It's been a beautiful thing. And, you know, people need to know of the work that's being done and that there is a Black-led trans organization in Southern California.
Yeah, absolutely. And also one thing we do is we do try to operate as a collective. So UWC is really a collective energy for all Black, trans, and non-binary folks. So it really isn't about us saying that we are the, because we like to say it's an us thing. And so if there is any other Black group or organized intention, we're there to support it, because it's really about us lighting other candles so that we could all be a torch for our community. So it truly is an us thing. So whoever and however we could pour into Black trans culture, that's where you'll find us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thanks for doing this. This is amazing.
Yes, thank you. With that, I want to welcome my sister, my friend, a girl like us, Mallery Jenna Robinson.
Hi, hello everyone. Good evening.
Hi, sister.
Hello, my sister. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. It's so good to see all these amazing, powerful, beautiful faces, and just to be in such a great space among Black excellence. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, thank you. So we have seen it on social media. I've heard a little bit of the story and your journey and your beautiful resilience, but I just want to give you the floor, sister. Thank you so much for being so open and honest and candid about your life, your journey as a Black trans woman coming from the South, and about being open about your status as well. So let's start off with Black excellence. What is Black excellence to you?
You know, that's a really good question, Millie. Black excellence really is an embodiment of Black testimonies, of Black struggles, of Black encouragement, of Black inspiration, of us all lifting each other up. You have to understand, you know, I was thinking about the history of this statement. And so many times I would sit down with my great grandmother and she would tell us the stories about her own grandmother being sold into slavery and what that did to the family. And you had to develop this sense of strength and encouragement to continue to push forward. And that to me is kind of what we still embody in us today, right? Whether we're facing some kind of discrimination because we're Black, because we're trans, because we're HIV positive, whatever the case may be, all of these intersectionalities ultimately build us to be the people that we are. And so through strength, through determination and tenacity, you get this culture of Black excellence. And it's just really beautiful to see.
Thank you. I love that. So when was that defining moment for you when you decided you wanted to live your truth and let other people know your story? And what was that like for you?
Well, you know, honestly, so just a brief background. I lived Steph for probably my whole adult life. I started my transition in 2006 when I was 16. And so the past 15 years, I've been living in my truth as a Black trans woman, but I never really was out and about and open with it. And then I was married, I got divorced, I moved to California, and then I landed the job at the time at the LGBTQ Center Long Beach. It was a really great starting point for me, and I'm truly humble from that experience. And this position really propelled me to stand in my truth and have to be honest with myself and who I was. And I knew that not only coming into this role was going to have me come out to literally people like former colleagues, you know, professors, things like that. People were going to be like, oh, okay. And so it really encouraged me to just stand in my truth and just go for it. And so that's what I did. And I had to be honest with myself, not only as a Black trans woman, but also as a Black trans woman who is living with HIV and that experience. I've lived with that experience now for almost 10 years. And I can tell you, standing in front of everyone and speaking my truth has been really cathartic for me. And it's really been a growing process because it allowed me to be more vulnerable and open and really see how the community would respond. And it's been so well received. And I'm so grateful for that.
Thank you so much. So what is your hope? What is your goal for the future as a Black trans leader? Where do you envision us in the next 5-10 years?
Absolutely. Well, I always think about 5 to 10 year plans. Definitely within the 5 years, I would love to see us with more housing stability. I would love to see us where we have like specific living programs and spaces for trans individuals. I would also love to see us really get more into the entertainment and media industry, right? Like Princess is doing this production company, and I'm like, that's what's up. That's what we need. More visibility, more of our stories being told, seeing us more as business leaders. I really want to hopefully shift the narrative of what it means to be Black and trans, or just trans in general, that we're all not sex workers, that we're not all these, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but the misconceptions and the stereotypes that are often placed on us. And to really see that we can be leaders of the community. We can be in the entertainment world. We can form our own organizations, right? Like my auntie Shayla did. These are all our journeys and our stories. And it's so important for people to understand that. So having programs like that, and just also just really making sure that we continue to have more leadership visibility. I would love to see us more in politics and so much more.
Thank you. And so where can we find you? And what is something that we can look forward to now? You got any tidbits for us?
You know, honestly, I'm now with the AIDS Projects of Los Angeles, APLA. So I'm their prevention training specialist for their trans health program. So I'm really excited about that. I'm phasing out of the center and then phasing into this new role. I'm super excited for this next journey with continuing to work with trans health. And just know that, like I said, just, you know, no matter what happens, just continue to stay hopeful and positive. And I know this year has been crazy, but, you know, just continue to know that we are all here for each other. And that's the most important thing.
Thank you, sister. I love you.
Thank you, baby girl. I love you more.
I think we're ready for Princess Murray. So Nicole, I'm gonna give you the floor. Oh, hey, brother. No, I didn't forget about you now. You coming up, you next. Okay. So after Princess Murray, I'm fine picking. We got some talking to do. All right, here we go.
OC's in the house.
Come and get you some. This is a Princess production. Come and get you some.
OC's in the house.
Come and get you some.
OC's in the house.
Come and get you some.
OC's in the house.
Come and get you some.
OC's in the house.
Come and get you some.
OC's in the house.
Come and get you some.
OC's in the house.
Come and get you some. LGBTQIA. 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 OC's in the house. OC's in the house. OC's in the house.
Throw some of that big money.
Woke up, felt real good about it. After shower to a Zoom room, got power. Gucci on tank top and a milli walk. OC flip flops and an ice pop. 10 more, you know I'm about to go buy some. Get your bands out my files, got my eyes on me. 24 miles, ocean and it smiles for me. Kinda crowd, make it real loud for 'em. OC's in the house. OC's in the house. OC's in the house. OC's in the house. OC's OC's in the house. OC's in the house. OC's in the house. OC's in the house. Big money.
OC's in the house. OC's in the house. OC's in the house. OC's in the house. Give me now. OC's in the house. OC's in the house. OC's in the house. OC's in the house. Give me now.
Streets, motherfucker. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, yes, Princess Murray.
Yes,
okay.
Princess, you did that.
I was trying to bring it, Mallory. I was trying to bring it.
Ow, 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 ow. Kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat. Okay, yes, you ate that up. All right, so.
Finally got it to play.
We finally got it to play. It's all right. You know, it's a nice way to kind of end the evening. We got 15 minutes remaining. So Princess Murray, give us some background on that video and that production.
I just, I just like to do inspirational things that kind of like uplift the community. And that was just something that, I love house music, and just growing up and dancing and to house music, I did that a lot. So even though I rap and I still have a enjoyable liking for that type of music, and I just enjoy any type of music in production, and I can do all those type of video productions, audio productions. If anybody sings, raps, we need anything, just hit me up, let me know. I can put some stuff together for people. All the stuff that all the audio and media that you see on all of our social medias, I'm responsible for all of that. I run the whole Compton Pride pretty much almost like literally by myself. So, just trying to just push through. It's our second year. So hopefully we'll get that going. But I want to tell Mallery, you're such a great speaker. I wanted to say that to you. I was just listening to you speak and I was like, wow, you're such a great speaker. I'm serious.
So much.
Really.
Thank
You be a public speaker or, get into that because you're really good at that.
Thank you so much. People have always said that.
Yeah, you look like you was presidential.
Princess God,
I'm serious. I'm serious. Man, I'm telling you, I know a good public speaker when I hear one. Trust me.
Mallery for
thank you, baby. Y'all go now. Y'all so silly. Let me put myself back on mute. Y'all so
Okay, I'll be campaigning. I'll
make some
calls. Okay, future plan. Princess Murray, that was amazing. Well worth the wait. So tell us a little bit more about Compton Pride and how did that all come to be? Okay,
well, when I was growing up, I'm 48 years old. And so when I was growing up, I went to the Pride festivals and I couldn't get in. And, I didn't have enough money to get in. I didn't have any money to get, when I got there, I didn't have any money to eat with, and my friends didn't. So most of the time we jumped the gate. We couldn't go to any after parties. I didn't even have the right attire. I mean, I was in my dad's clothes and he was looking for them, and I had to hurry up and get back home sometimes, so, it was just, a really hard time. And then both my parents was on they were substance abuse users, but they were functional drug addicts. So that kind of wasn't great, but that kind of made it a little bit easier for me. And they were also affirming for my, for me being LGBT. They had no issues with that. So that was also helpful, even though the downside is they were both drug addicts. So with all that, I didn't have any resources. I wanted resources. I wanted somewhere where I can go get help. I knew I wanted help. I started, I dibbled and dabbled in drugs and drinking. I can tell you endless stories about females and women. I mean, I just did it all. And I was just lost in it. And I wish I had someone to pull me out of it because I was one of those kids that wanted more. And I just didn't have that just didn't have it. So when I got older, I was like, you know what? I want to create something in our space, in our neighborhoods, that is designed for us, because I feel like, and I'm not discriminating against anyone else, but I feel like we need some help in the minority communities. I'm not saying other communities don't. I'm just saying we do, and especially the Black LGBTQI community. We really need some resources there to help us, and whether that's HIV awareness, whether that's education, whether that's the social things, anything that we can to help us get out of this disproportionality and despair that we have in our communities. And I wanted Compton Pride to be that and stand for that, without alcohol, without drugs. And you can bring your families and your mother and your children. I'm not saying that you can go somewhere else and they have it at other places. You can enjoy that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Doing it, in a relatively safe manner. But I wanted this place to be like a meditation place where we can go and get some help. And it's just different. It's not comparing or better than or nothing like that. Just a place I just wanted to just have, like, it was my dream. And when I get there and I'm there, I feel like I'm sitting in my dream. And it's only once a year. But once a year I get to sit in my own dream, because that's what I wanted. So that's my motivation for Compton Pride.
Wow, I love that. Wow.
Yeah.
Look, your dreams are reality. You manifested that dream
Yeah.
here. So I love that.
And anybody on here, and trust me, that was, they told me that could never you can't have a pride festival in Compton. And when I went to the government to ask them, I had to go to the United States government. I had to go to different places in Congress, and I had to talk to congresswomen, and I had to really fight to have it in Compton. They said, well, we'll give you Lomita or Torrance. I said, no, I want Compton. First I said Watts. I said I want the hardest place to have a festival. I said Watts. They said, you're not having Watts. We're not giving you Watts, but you can have Compton. And so I was like, okay, I'll take Compton. So that's how it happened.
Okay. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay. Okay. And Watts is kind of universal. It's kind of universally the hood, because I've been in Ohio and Watts was the hood out there too. Okay, I love it, because you were just like, look, we're having a pride, okay?
Yeah.
I'll be deep in the hood with a flag and having pride. I love that. So, Black excellence, what does that mean for you? What does that look like for you?
Black excellence?
Yeah.
Black excellence is us going back to knowing our past, learning about our past, our ancestors, and the things that we ate, and going back to our nutritional values and what we had when we ate, and going back to medicine that we use when our ancestors used, instead of the medications that we use now, and meditation, and yoga, and just things that can help us get into a high vibrational state, so we can align with the things that we want with the universe, because you can have anything you want if you can align with the universe and the things that you put in your vortex, the things that are over there for you. So I think that's Black excellence, us getting to a stage like that. And I think, and when I go back to Mallery, because that's my girl, and Mallery just reminds me of that sister, that sister that I was the only child, but this imaginary sister that tries to get everybody to get along and be happy and let's get together.
That's me. That's so me. Stop it, Princess. You know me too well.
Yeah, I know you. People don't think I'll be watching. I'll be watching. I see everything. I see everything. So yeah, that's what Black excellence is to me. It's going back and making ourselves healthy. And I got a lot of work to do myself. I work hard, and I fail all the time, but failure is part of your growth. So I just want to say that's Black excellence to me.
I love that. So where can we find you? Any updates? Like what's going on in Princess Curry's world?
I moved out the hood. I used to live in the hood. I couldn't live in the hood. Can't find me in the hood no more. But I come through every now and then. But I moved out. I got into a lot of issues when I was living. I wasn't always a good kid, so I've gotten into a lot of trouble. I was raised in Inglewood. I lived in Compton for a while and Watts for a while, so I've had my troubles as a youth. And so, I live in Corona now, which is, about an hour and a half away from Compton. So I live in Corona now, and you can call me, hit me up through Facebook, hit me up through Compton Pride, Instagram, Facebook. or just call me or Facebook. What, it doesn't matter. My number's on Facebook. My number's everywhere. So yeah.
Okay. Hey, neighbor. I mean, I'm in Corona too. So,
Oh, you in Corona? Oh, okay.
mm-hmm, okay.
I'm across from Dos Lagos.
That's where I am. Literally.
Oh, really? You on the
Yeah,
golf course?
I'm on the golf course.
We must live in the same place.
Probably. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I see you. Okay. I see you. I mean, shoot,
Okay.
Das Logos Pride or Corona Pride.
I don't know. I don't know. That might be harder than Compton shit.
I mean, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You are a testament.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So thank you so much. We're gonna talk offline because we're neighbors.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everything, for being here, for everything that you've done, all of your accomplishments and achievements. That beautiful medley, Compton Pride, like, yeah, I'm so
Appreciate
honored.
it.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me. I really appreciate it. And all of you, I thank you for your time and I appreciate everybody and
Yeah.
all that you do.